Hello, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay, I'm muting. I will
Yes.
take up when I get my chance. Is it
Okay,
okay?
sir. Thank
This is
you.
a
Thank
video.
you.
This is my video. Am I clear? Is it
Yes,
okay?
sir. Yes, sir. You are
Is all
clear.
right? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Right. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
morning. Wish you
Good
all the
morning,
best.
sir. Good
Bye.
morning.
Hello. Hello.
No? Ma'am.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and dear colleagues. I, Dr. P. Diana David, working as Professor MBA Department in St. Martin's Engineering College, pleased to welcome you all to the first online international conference on digitalization of business operations. I, on behalf of St. Martin's Engineering College Management, our Chairman Sri Lakshman Reddy Garu, Executive Director Sri G. Chandrasekhar Yadav Garu, and our young, talented and dynamic Principal, Dr. P. Santosh Kumar Patra Sir, Deans, HODs, Department of MBA, welcome all the delegates to the International Conference Digitalization of Business Operations. Today, we are privileged to have an opportunity to listen to Dr. Rama Devi, Head, Department of MBA, NIT Warangal, and Dr. Rajendra Harman, Retired Professor, NIRD. I welcome our Chief Guest, Rama Devi Ma'am, and Guest of Honor, Rajendra Harman Sir, to this international conference. I welcome all our advisory committee, Dr. Pulapa Subbarao, Professor, Vice Chancellor, Millennium University, Blantyre, Republic of Malawi. Dr. S. Krishnaya, Professor, Ex-Registrar, JNTU Anantapur. Dr. A. Prabhukumar, Professor, Director of Foreign Relations, JNTUH. Dr. Sindhu, Professor and Director, in charge of SMS, JNTUH. Dr. B.R. Meghraj, Professor, SK University, Anantapur. It is an honor and privilege to have esteemed, renewed personnel who have been extremely guideline setters in the domain of management as advisory committee. Thank you for your valuable advices which helped us in organizing this international conference, sir. St. Martin's Engineering College, an autonomous institution situated in an eco-friendly environment with state-of-art infrastructure. College has achieved prestigious grade A+ from NAC, UGC Paramash Mentor, NB accredited, ISO certified, DSIR recognition, remote center for IIT Bombay, member of CII and MSME certified institution. Signed more than 88 MOUs with major companies and institutions. Careers 360 certified as AA+, Competition Success Review ranked 3 out of 20, Career Connect ranked 13, Best Engineering Colleges of India, and Wikipedia ranked 8th in Telangana. The college is bestowed with Glorious Governor Award thrice. The Engineering Educators Award 2019, NIR DPR Award Government of India, IDF Best Partner Award, Divang Mehta Award, TCS ION Award, CSI Award, Best Innovation by Federation of Gujarat Industries, Street Cause Most Dedicated Division, Best Sports College, National Leadership Excellence Award 2019 by ICCI. This international conference on digitalization of business operations, ICDBO-2020, aims to bring together leading academic scientists, researchers, industrial personnel, and research scholars from all over the world under one roof to exchange and share their experiences and research results through brainstorming sessions. This conference definitely gives you an opportunity to broaden your knowledge and thinking by listening to new ideas and recent trends. A glance through the list of papers planned for the 2 days reveals the amazing information about digitalization. I hope you'll have 2 most productive days of interesting and stimulating discussions. With this welcome note, I request our HOD, Mr. Dr. Y. Venkatrangaya, to address the conference.
Thank you, Diana Madam. I, Dr. Y. Venkatrangaya, working as a professor and head of the department in St. Martin Engineering College. Respected Principal Sir, today Chief Guest, Dr. V. Ramadevi Ma'am, today Guest of Honor, former Professor, Dr. Rajendra Sir, our college HODs, Deans, faculty of the department, students and delegates from India and outside of India. A warm welcome to online international conference on digitalization of business operation. It is a privilege for me to be a host of this program. On this occasion, I would like to say a few words about our MBA department. The MBA department started in the year 2007. Since then, the department has been met a remarkable achievement in result, placement index, faculty retention, student publication, faculty publication, Coursera certification, consultancy project, and MOUs with foreign university. And the department has very good teaching learning process, which are ICT method, flipped classroom, brainstorming session, project-based learning, Google Classroom, integration of NPTEL, activity-based learning, industrial visit, MOOCs, role play. These are all we are using the teaching learning process in the department. And coming to this conference, as we see today, the business scenario, the technology play a very important role in business area. Today, the business and technology are interlinked and interdependent. We cannot separate to each other. So that in that connection, we planned international conference on digitalization of business operations. In this art situation, finally, we got very good response from India and outside India. Total, we received 200 papers. After received, 100 papers are selected to present in this conference. This conference main objectives are to provide a knowledge on how to technological aspects are evolved in the fundamental business area and to provide on which technologies will be emerged in the business area in future. And I hope this program will help you in your professional career as well as in your life. Finally, I thanks to our principal sir, and I special thanks to today's chief guest and guest of honor to came over here and address this gathering. I request all delegates to stay in this meeting up to last minute and make it grand success. I wish you all the best. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, HOD sir. You are a wonderful HOD who knows how to make every event success and bring out best. Before we go to the presidential address, I request Ramani to read out the profile of our principal, Dr. P. Santosh Kumar Patra sir.
Good morning. I'm Shravani Balmore, working as Assistant Professor in St. Martin's Engineering College. Thanks to each and every one of you for being here with us today. Before we begin this online international conference, I would like to present our principal's profile. Dr. P. Santosh Kumar Patra is PhD in computer science and have research interests in areas of artificial intelligence, software engineering, data mining, and warehousing and wireless network. He is recipient of several awards like Governor Award 3 times, Rashtriya Gaurav Award, Rashtriya Vikas Ratan Award, Dronacharya Award, Young Leader of Year 2019, and IBAE International Award Dubai. He has got funding with 86 lakhs from DST, IIT Bombay, and AICTE. Also consulting project worth of 444 crores from GHMC, along with facilitating 300 Akash tablets from IIT Bombay. Professor carries big visions for life with a belief in hard work and strive for excellence. Sir has published 24 patents, 12 books, 88 plus national and international research papers. He is active member of ISTE, CIE, CSI, IAN, MAS, PRS, USA. Senior member of IAC, SIT, Singapore, SCIEI, Canada, and technical advisor for Alexia, Japan. Sir has delivered several guest lectures in different parts of country, and he has been recognized as distinct judge, session chair for many international and national conferences and symposium. Recently, he has been invited for higher education conference organized by TSCHE Government of Telangana and World Education Summit. He has established many funded research and development laboratories and cells like Akash Research Lab, Mobile Development Incubation Cell, Center of IIT Bombay. We are highly fortunate to have him as our principal of St. Martin's Engineering College. I request our principal, sir, Dr. P. Santosh Kumar Patra, sir, to address the participants.
So thank you very much, Shravani, for a nice and lengthy introduction. So, chief guest of today's function, Dr. Rama Devi from NIT Warangal, and guest of honor, Dr. Rajender from National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, a senior eminent and retired professor, convener of this international conference, Dr. Y. Venkatarangaya, HOD of MBA department, and Dr. Dolly Diana, professor of MBA department, coordinators, staff members, invited guests, HODs, deans, students, last but not the least, participants across the country, a very good morning to all of you. So in fact, it is something like the plan comes true. So we had planned this great international conference just 1.5 months before, and I am very glad to see all of you, and thanks to all of you for making it reality. So wholeheartedly, I would like to welcome you to this online international conference, and we have framed a title like Digitalization of Business Operation. So quite interesting topic and quite innovative, and there are a lot of scope, there are a lot of potential growth in this title itself. So first of all, I would like to thank to Dolly Diana ma'am, as well as to Dr. Y. Venkatarangaya and the entire coordinator and the marketing team who has taken all interest and all effort, and day and night they have worked tirelessly to make this event as a grand success. And when the initial brochure was launched and it has gone for circulation nationally as well as internationally, we got huge response. So big round of applause and kudos to the entire department who worked very hard to make this event grand. And finally, all the paper has gone through strict scrutiny and with the review process and all. And finally, for this today's international conference, 100 papers have been shortlisted for the presentation. So I would like to congratulate all the participants across the country, those who got the opportunity today to present their research work and as well as for tomorrow. So there are two benefits immediately you will be getting once your paper is accepted, and the coordinator of this international conference would have communicated the same to you all. First thing is, you will get an opportunity to present your ideas, to present your progress of the work in front of the intellectuals who are all best in your domain, and you will get the good review and as well as good input from them, which will help you to take you to the next step. And your paper already, it will be published in our international conference proceeding with an ISBN number, which I am going to release soon after my talk. And the detail of the proceedings and the detail of all of your papers will be kept in our college website by tomorrow evening. So it will be kept for your downloading purpose. And second benefit to all the authors are, all of your papers, whatever we have accepted, will go for different journals what we have tied up. Initially, all the papers we are planning to send to all Scopus indexed journal. And yes, paper stands good, quality is there, it will be published, we are there for you. Else, once they will suggest the correction, you have to do the correction, and it goes through a iteration process. And parallelly, we will be communicating your paper to the UGC CARE journal list also. So my team will be communicating to all the authors. So I request all the participants to extend full cooperation to my team so that it is also easy for us to publish your paper in time. So finally, coming to the title of the international conference, the digitalization of business operation. Yes, of course, business operation is related to the MBA department, and digitalization is only word which is very close to our heart because I belongs to computer science and engineering. So it is a right combo that CSE and MBA joined together, the title has been framed. So that is why I have got a lot of affinity towards the title itself. And looking into the scenario, so those the traditional days and the mechanical way of doing the transactions and the business modules will not stand till today. Let us take an example few. So see, because of this COVID-19 for past 3.5 months, okay, this lockdown or whatever it is, no, unlock phase 1 or phase 2 and all, there are a lot of restrictions by the government. And every individuals have their own fearness related to their safety and security and the spreadness of this disease. So that is why coming out from the home itself is a very big task and very big challenging task for all of us. So that is why the platform and the business module, those who had adopted and make their presence to be available in the digital era, so they are surviving today. In fact, I will not say that they are surviving, they are signing today. Let us take an example. See, Baizu, everybody had heard about it. Digital learning platform it is. Okay, so they were making their revenues are going increasing like looking into the another company that is named as Toppers. That is also a learning app where their revenue and also the business growth is also growing exponentially. And now our own vegetables and grocery shop, Big Basket, what kind of big business he is doing because of this lockdown? Because nobody wants to take the risk of going to the general bazaar or local markets and purchase the vegetable from the people. So why these models are successful? Because they made their presence in the digital platform. You need not have to visit to a store. Just what you need to do, just open your app, place your order and do the payment. Yes, items will be delivered to you. What else the customer needs? So it is really an opportunity for all of us, wherever, whatever the domain it is, we have to see that how we will create our presence in the digital era. So if that is all done, then our availability will be in 360, 360 days, 24/7 completely timings, we will be available for the service for the customers. So where the success rate increases in multifolded. So that is why my sincere appreciation to the organizer for choosing a very good title and making it more successful. And I would like to tell you a small incident in the form of a story. Okay, then I will just log out and I will also join with all the participants to listen to these eminent speakers. One day, one gentleman wake up in the morning and he was reading the newspaper. How we all, everybody do. The moment we wake up, immediately we need a cup of tea and beside that we need a newspaper. Okay, so same way that gentleman was also doing. Surprisingly, he could able to see his own photo in the newspaper. And why it is surprising and shocking? Because that photo was placed in the obituary column. Obituary column, the people, those who are died and their photos we used to keep there. So he was shocked and surprised. And for a few moments, he was speechless and he was asking himself whether he is really alive or he is really dead. So after 2-3 seconds, so when he understood that, okay, something wrong has happened in the newspaper, okay, then he started reading. Okay, his photo is printed in the newspaper, in the obituary column. And let me read how people have addressed. Okay, so he could able to see it is tagline that the Dynamite King dies. What is that? Dynamite King dies. And the next line was written, which is very scary. Okay, he was the merchant of death. Dynamite King dies and he was the merchant of death. So he was so disappointed and he thought that I am such a big scientist and I have done a lot of innovations and people addressed me like this after my death. And he had invented dynamite. That is why the people started calling him the Dynamite King dies, the merchant of death. On that day itself, he decided to change his life, change his thinking process, change his innovations towards the society, towards the peace, towards the mankind. So he started working on that and he got success in that area too. And nowadays he is more popular and his name is more popular in the name of Great Nobel Prize. And he is none other than the Alfred Nobel. So he was the inventor of your dynamite. So he doesn't want to create his address after his death that people should be addressing him, a man of dynamite or the merchant of killers, all these things. He doesn't want to do. So why I am narrating this story in this international this international conference also equally gives an opportunity to you to see your mirror image. We individually, we feel that yes, we have done our research work, we have done all excellent work, and it is all best way we have done it. Nobody can do like this and all. And once we present this, our ideas and the development and the processes, what we have followed, and immediately the same thing happens. It reflects the correct image. So what I request all the participants, once you present your ideas, please take a positive note of all the remarks, all the review comments, what the experts will give it to you, so that from that dynamite level, it will come in the form of a Nobel Peace Prize. So with this great idea, we have decided to give the name of digitalization of business operation. So once again, thanks to organizers, conveners, and also a big thank to Dr. Ramadevi, who has given his consent to be with us, even though she is so busy. And also I extend my thankfulness to Dr. Rajendra Harmon, who is a retired eminent professor of National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. So thank you. Have a great day ahead. Enjoy your 2 days and make it a memorable one. Thank you. Thanks for opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your constant encouragement and wholehearted support at all stages of this conference. We gratefully acknowledge the inspiring guidance and suggestions throughout in organizing this international conference. So further we go for, before we go for chief guest address, I request Mr. Nihar, MBA student, to read out the profile of Dr. V. Ramadevi, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to one and all. We are very glad to welcome you all for the International Conference ICDBO 2020. I am Nihar from St. Martin's Engineering College of MBA Department, delighted to present the profile of Dr. V. Ramadevi, ma'am, Chief Guest of today's program. Madam has 22 years of teaching and research experience in the field of management, 11 years of administrative experience in various capacities as Dean of the school, head of the departments. She conducted various management development programs and training sections to corporate executives. She organized various conferences, seminars, faculty development program, and workshops. Ma'am published 2 books, 58 research papers in referred journals, 22 papers in conference, 7 articles in magazines, and 2 book chapters. Impactful policy research in social science, project titled as The Role of Social Media in Rural Development. A study in Telangana State 2019 as project director. Madam delivered lecture as keynote speaker and resource person in various conference, seminars, programs. She received Best Teacher Award twice. She is selected as Inspired Teacher in Inspired Teachers Network based on micro teaching, student feedback, and peer feedback at university. Madam is a member in various academic professional bodies and served various roles in different capacities. Ma'am secured university first rank in both graduation and post-graduation and UGC NEET award. She graded 3 PhD scholars and 3 MPhil scholars. Madam has her academic qualifications are PhD from Sri Krishnadevaraya University in 1998, MPhil from Sri Krishnadevaraya University in 1994, UGC JRF NEET qualified in 1993. Areas of expertise, organizational behavior, and human resource management. Madam has many publications, research papers, Scopus Index publication, paper presentation in international conference, both in India and outside India. Ma'am has presented many paper presentations in national conference and seminars. She has various memberships in academic and professional bodies. Now I request ma'am to address the gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, Nihar, for your nice introduction. Distinguished dignitaries, Dr. P. Santosh Kumar, Principal, SMEC, the guest of honor, Dr. Rajendra Harman, retired Professor, NIRDPR, Dr. Y. Venkatarangaya, Head of the Department, MBA, Dr. P. Dolly Diana, Professor, MBA Department, respected deans, heads of various departments, faculty members, delegates, and all the members present here. A very good morning to one and all. I feel privileged to be associated with this online international conference on digitalization of business operations. At the outset, I thank the Institute authorities for giving me an opportunity to be associated with this event. Let me say a particular quote, which is very apt here. Change is the essence of life. Everything is in a process of moving, growing, and adopting. Change is the most important action that shapes the direction of life, as quoted by Dr. Chia Tai Po. COVID-19 stands as a good example for this. When the lockdown was announced in the month of March, we were shocked and scared, trying to understand what is happening, why it is happening, and what is going to happen. In fact, in the process of addressing all these questions, we were using a lot of analytics there. We talk about 4 levels of analytics. And all the 4 levels we have been using here in order to understand the answers to these questions. What is happening? Descriptive analytics has come to the rescue. Diagnostic, why it is happening. Predictive, forecasting what will happen if the situation continues. And of course, government has used even prescriptive analytics based upon the forecast, recommended actions, what has to be done so that we can overcome various challenges. In fact, initially when the lockdown was announced, everything was standstill and our lifestyle has completely changed. When we started realizing that this is going to continue for months together, we started looking at what best can be done in order to do productive work within the limitations. COVID-19 has posed various challenges and taught us various lessons. In fact, we academicians, we were worried. We were on the verge of the closure of the academic year, and we taught online and ensured that academics do not suffer, thanks to technology. Even though COVID-19 demanded physical distance from one another, we are able to come together virtually with the help of the technology. In fact, this online international conference is being organized, which is providing us a platform in order to share our perspectives, our viewpoints, our knowledge and experiences. The topic for today's presentation is the changing world of work, paradigm shift in HR functions and practices. See, one of the HBR report, it states that all business functions, they have to undergo digitalization, and which has brought in various challenges and opportunities. In fact, just like how Principal Sir narrated a story, of course, he narrated the story towards the close of his address. I would like to start with a small story. In fact, an improvised kind of a story. I think all of us are aware of Alauddin and his magical lamp. The story goes like this. On one fine day at a workplace during the lunchtime, the people start moving towards the canteen. And on the way to the canteen, some people find a magical lamp. The people who were there, who saw the magical lamp, were, one was the manager, the other person was a receptionist, and another employee was working in the finance department. So by looking at the magical lamp, the employee who was working in the finance department, he took it in his hands, and as goes by the story, Ginny appears. Ginny grants boon. So 3 of us get an opportunity to tell their wish so that their wish will be fulfilled. So first, the employee from the finance department, he says, my wish is, I have been very frustrated with the daily routine and I really want a break. You take me to a nice place where there is ample recreation, take me to a beach in Goa, and I would like to recharge. So Ginny says, fine, your wish will be fulfilled, and takes that employee from there. Next comes the turn of the receptionist. She says that I want a lot of resources. I want to go to your place and shop a lot. Take me to Dubai. I would like to do a lot of shopping. So she's also again taken there. Now left is the manager. When his turn comes up, the wish that is requested by the manager is, within an hour, I want both the employees back to my office. That is the approach towards people, employees, and HR a few years back. Now, if you look at the current status, the story cannot continue like this. What is the second version of this particular story? The second version of the story is the same thing. Initial part of the story is the same. The wishes asked by the two employees are also the same. But the wish that is proposed by the manager is, please take them according to their wish. Let their wish be fulfilled, but please fulfill my wish as well. My wish is they're very valuable employees to the organization. I want them at any cost to come back to the organization, because organizational growth depends upon the assets of the organization, who are nothing but the human resources. This is the revised version of the story. Why I'm narrating the story is, there is a change in the approach to HR function. HR function is considered to be the strategic partner of business organization. HR function is considered to be the source of competitive advantage. So I thought, let me share this story and let me get into the topic of today's session, that is the changing world of work. Let us look at what are the various drivers, or what are the various factors that actually led to the changes in the world of work. To start with, of course, like we have been talking about this like for such a long period of time, that is a lot of implications of globalization are there. But all implications of globalization, if you put in a nutshell, we say that it is competition, fierce competition that is there. Because of competition and technological advances that are happening, the organizations are now looking for different kind of strategies in order to survive and thrive. Unless they have an edge when compared to the others, it becomes very difficult in this competitive world in order to emerge as a leader. And the situation started demanding continuous improvement initiatives, innovations. And in order to do that, the changing skill requirements has become the order of the day. In fact, now we are talking about multi-skilling. The employees are expected to have multiple skills. Flexibility is expected in an organization, and managing people has become a challenge. The reason is the expectations of the workforce are changing. Here, when you talk about the expectations of the workforce are changing, let us look at the different generations of workforce we have right now. Baby boomers, X generation, Y generation, Z generation, and so on. Even in a small family, we'll see like what we want, it varies depending upon like which generation we belong to. The same logic holds good even in an organization. The millennials, they want different things from the employer. They want immediate feedback. They want various kinds of benefits. They want flexibility. They want career advancement, so on and so forth. So taking all this into account, various challenges and whatever the expectations that are there, and the organizations have to adapt in accordance with the changing requirements. With the technological advances and so many new measures that are being introduced, consumers have become very, very powerful. They are expecting so many things at their doorstep, and they want things to be done in a very quicker and efficient manner. Many CEOs in their statements, they say that people are the primary assets. If you take care of the people, that is, I'm talking about the employees in the organization, they will take care of the customers. We are not talking about customer satisfaction, we are talking about customer delight. So in order to provide customer delight, employee engagement is very, very important. In the process of meeting all these challenges, HR analytics is playing a very important role and is helping the HR function to play the role of the strategic partner in an organization. I was talking about there is a paradigm shift in HR functions and practices. So what is that shift, how it was earlier a few years back and how it is right now? Let us look at the various important vital HR functions. When you look at recruitment and selection, earlier it was a very lengthy process where a lot of things were done manually. Now we are talking in terms of a lot of digitalization there, use of AI, artificial intelligence is helping in identifying the best pool of candidates, identifying the source where they can get the best talent, and the selection process has been adapted to the changing requirements. In fact, when it's in a situation like this, when we are doing that selection process, we are able to conduct the interviews through Skype and everything we are going in a digitalized fashion. Thanks to technologies, we are able to perform the functions more efficiently and smoothly. And if you look at the onboarding function of HR, again, artificial intelligence has really helped the onboarding function to be done in a more efficient manner. When new employees join the organizations, all of us are aware, we'll have so many questions on our mind, so many ifs and buts, what has to be done, and so on and so forth. Though these are the routine kind of the questions, they have to be addressed in order to provide a positive employee experience. From the organization point of view, we always say we need to prioritize our timing, and valuable time has to be devoted to the important jobs, and the routine functions can be done. I mean, if it is possible using the artificial intelligence, if it can be done, they can concentrate on the priorities. So again, you find the role of digitalization here. And if you look at the training and development, now we call training and development as learning and development, which has to be a continuous one. And we are able to leverage the technology there, where it is very close to the job and very at convenient timings, and where they can see simulations, use simulations, and the technology is available at their own pace, at their own convenience. They can learn whatever is required for the day. And the compensation management function, the regular payroll modules are there. The attendance management and leave management is happening, the benefit management. We are talking about a cafeteria kind of an approach where employees are given the menu of choosing the benefits. How to administrate those benefits? Again, the technology has come to the help here. And performance management, gone are those days where we're talking about like routine performance appraisal reports being handled manually. But now, as I shared earlier, the new generation workforce, they want their feedback very frequently, and they cannot wait for a long period of time, when earlier the appraisals were conducted almost a year during the period of 1 year, or of course quarterly. So what I'm trying to say is, with the help of digitalization, the HR functions, they are actually changing, and they are helping the organization to conduct the operations in a more efficient manner. Earlier, achieving organizational excellence was not considered to be the main work of HR. It was considered to be only a supportive function. But now the task of achieving organizational excellence is considered to be the job of the HR function. And what is the new agenda for HR function? HR should become an agent of continuous transformation, shaping process and culture that together improve an organization's capacity for change. We are talking about a culture of digital transformation. So for an organization to have a culture of digital transformation, so the support of the employees is very much required. The main challenging issue that is faced by the organization is the employee engagement. As rightly quoted by Conant, former CEO of Campbell's Soup, to win in the marketplace, you must win in the workplace. And it is very important for an organization to create a work environment that promotes the physical, emotional, and social well-being of the employees. The findings of a Harvard Business Review Analytics Services report, more than 550 executives express that employee engagement is very important to achieve overall organizational success. It helps in increasing employees' motivation, retention, productivity, customer engagement, and so on and so forth. But employee engagement is a two-way street. There is give and get kind of a relationship. If you look at the various organizations, the CHROs and outperforming enterprises, they rely more heavily on big data and analytics than their peers in underperforming enterprises. They stress more on employee engagement, and they are able to do with the help of HR analytics. The companies which are a little slow in adopting HR analytics, they are facing various risks like cost of high attrition, poor hiring practices, keeping below subpar employees, and even the suboptimal compensation. So taking this into account, looking at the importance of HR analytics, various analytical models have emerged and analytics have started to drive the decisions about the people. As a result, corporate leaders are embracing workforce analytics that can have an impact on the financial results. Look at various companies like Google, Best Buy, Cisco. They are working to understand how to ensure highest productivity and engagement, replicate the past practices which were successful and which can be replicated. In fact, if you look at, as I was sharing the story, I was wondering, though it is a story, I read an article in HBR. It was a story about Netflix, how they have reinvented HR. The Netflix earlier had a leave kind of a policy, so many casual leaves and so many earned leaves and so on and so forth. Later on, they revisited it and they gave flexibility to the employees, considering them to be responsible, behave in a responsible manner in the interest of the Netflix. No restriction in terms of leaves. People can avail, they can take time off based upon their need, but at the same time, they should discharge their responsibility, whatever is expected. They quoted in that report that like that kind of a decision, it really helped them to increase the employee productivity. So that is where I'm trying to convey that there is a change in the approach towards HR function. In fact, at Best Buy, they could specifically measure that 0.1% increase in engagement can bring in value more than 1 lakh in the store's operating income. They are going so much to the specifics of the metrics. All this actually will convince us that like fine, things can really materialize and can really help the organizations in order to perform better. See, one of the major challenges nowadays is it's not only talent attraction, but also talent retention. In fact, Oracle was able to predict which top performers were predicted to leave the organization and why. And using this information, they could bring out, that's what I said, predict prescriptive analytics. They could come out with certain solutions so that they could avoid that high performers leaving the organization. So that is where these organizations, progressive organizations, they are making the best use of analytics, digitalization of the operations, and they are able to deliver the best results. And people are very important. And I would like to end with a particular quote by Simon Sinek. When people are financially invested, they want a return. When people are emotionally invested, they want to contribute. So it is the responsibility of an organization to see that they are emotionally invested. So employee engagement can help them in order to make them emotionally invested. Thank you all of you. And I really thank the authorities for giving me an opportunity to share my viewpoints and be associated with this event. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for speaking to all of our delegates with all the case studies. You have reminded about the emotional contribution what organization has to give an importance. We are very grateful for the time and the effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences with us. Thank you once again for your contribution, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So we have a guest of honor, Rajendra Harman, sir. Before we listen to him, I request Johanna to present the profile of Dr. Rajendra Harman. Over to Johanna.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone, respected principal sir, respected dignitaries, lecturers, and my friends. It's a great pleasure to have each one of you at the conference. I am Joanna from St. Martin's Engineering College. I am privileged to present the profile of guest of honor, Dr. Rajendra R. Harman, sir. Sir started his career at the IIM Ahmedabad Business Economic Area, then worked at NIRD and PR for 38 years in various capacities as associate professor, a coordinator, director, principal research investigator in a number of research and development projects taken up in various states of India. He has worked for 11 years as a member in the Information and Communication Technology, Ministry of Rural Development, and conducted a number of research studies, seminars, workshops, and training programs for government officers and functionaries of various central and state departments, including industries, particularly the rural industries, tiny cottage, small-scale industries. He addressed participants of various workshops, seminars, conferences conducted abroad and NIRD and PR on ICT application in agriculture, education, health, and industries, including topics on knowledge management, ICT application, digitalization, and digital transformation and related issues. He has coordinated with various foreign institutes for collaborative research and conducted a number of training programs abroad. Sir participated and presented papers in various institutes and at ministries of Government of India, specifically agriculture industries, MSME, rural development. Sir participated in international seminars abroad, including technical seminars on ICT applications in business, industries, and government at Melbourne, Australia. Also on GIS and ICT application seminars in Beijing, China, Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Sir has co-chaired theme presentations on geoinformatics-based management on development programs, including disaster mitigation programs and industrial development at a seminar held in Beijing, China. Sir completed his post-graduation in applied economics and econometrics from Osmania University, Hyderabad. PhD in economics titled Asset Productivity and Income Program and Economic Analysis. Sir's additional qualifications are audited courses on growth development and industrialization while at IIM Ahmedabad. Also, course on project implementation, monitoring and evaluation at Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. Project planning implementation and monitoring using geoinformatics in Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. Course on remote sensing, GIS and information technology for disaster management from JNTU, Hyderabad. Now I request Dr. Rajendra R. Harman, sir, to address the gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. You had given a very elaborate details about me. Thank you very much for that. And now let me get respected principal of St. Martin's Engineering College, Dr. P. Santosh Kumar, Dr. Y. Venkata Ragaya, head of the Department of MBA Department, Dr. Mrs. P. Dolly Dana, Professor of MBA Department. I'm really grateful and thankful to you for giving an opportunity to me for sharing my thoughts, right? And I've gathered all these informations all over my life, and I still participate in seminars, etc. Um, so really, this is a good opportunity. Your topic is really apt for the situation, technology-wise, time-wise, and we are standing at a crossroad where things have to change. Both all the speakers, including the respected principal, had change in mind. Even you, in your address, Mrs. Dolly Dana, had this in mind. This is the theme of my talk, but I will use more of the economics, social, what I've seen in the rural areas, the development areas. You see, technology is well adopted. If you look at the World Bank details, etc., adoption rates, infusion rates are quite good in the general world and the cities and towns. But look at our large rural areas where the real market lies, the real potential lies there. And there's not much. So I look at that developing development, developed economy points, the sector points. You see, the look at the way media has totally internalized digitalization. I'd like to bring out that aspect a little bit. McKinsey studies, Mazar studies, etc., which when I was abroad, had a chance to have one face-to-face meetings with them. They emphasize this rather than general industries alone, right? And that's how I would like to go ahead with my presentations. Now, my encounter with this kind of a subject, it was not called digitalization and transformation. It was called taking ICT, that is ICT applications in areas, okay, in different areas, industry, agriculture. That's how I started. Well, it was very nice to be at NIRD and do these things because we got a very good setup, and central government organization, you have all the technical know-hows there, and we have a good staff. But the moment you move away 200 kilometers and out into the village, you have nothing. It was really becoming difficult. Of course, things have changed from that day. I'm talking about my membership and a small research group formed on ICT about 10 to 12 years back. Today, it's slightly different, but not all that different. Now, I would like to uh, give you a PPT presentation. So, because so that I can be guided and I'll be focused a bit, it's just about 10 to 20 PPTs I will show, and then it will be useful. I will ask a lot of questions, flag issues, and also tell you what has the others achieved. What are the others achieved is available in documents. That's not at all a problem. But what ought to be done? Where are the gaps? These are the things I wish this particular seminar tries to at least look into and give some kind of a set of solutions, because that's very useful. No one has done that to a great extent, right? And especially, I would like this what you call seminar to also focus on MSMEs, tiny cottage handicrafts. You may be wondering, why am I talking about it? It's because of my project experiences with them. You see, you can sell a shawl, you can sell a carpet anywhere in the world if you have the right kind of certification, child labor, etc., excluded. You can sell it anywhere, but you can't take the carpet and travel to UK and talk to them saying that this is the carpet, will you choose? That's where you need to digitalize and transform that small tiny sector into a real effective sector which can sell from India, and imagine the earnings we would be getting because of that. Right, I'm putting on my I hope this is visible.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about, yeah, it's no longer the big beating the small. That's what we have seen in our lifetime, bullying, but it's the fast beating the slow. That's what is happening with the digital technologies. And obviously, everyone else has also referred to this particular thing as coronavirus, COVID. pandemic continues to spread, many companies are really thankful because they had attempted digital transformation, and wherever in whatever place they are, they now are totally concentrating, investing in this and coming up. The right time. That's why I said it's the right time. Let me tell you about how we just a minute. Um, we are living with a dynamic world where speed is the essence. Transformation is the key to success. Yes, as the keynote speaker also, the chief guest also said, transformation. Principal also said about the changes required. That's very true. From the flickering monochrome image, you have the LED display. You have, look at the way the business of transportation is run. Earlier, BMW, etc., would make a car for the driving experience. Then came the Ole and Uber, which could even provide any kind of cars anywhere abroad or in India and take you from point A to B. And it serves a purpose. Now, the third thing that's happening is you have intelligent vehicles, AI and other things with sensors, etc., has come in and changed the entire experience of this car industry altogether. So this is the kind of innovation that we are looking at. Now the technologies have an impact, and we are truly in a digital age, an age which really we have to look forward to. It's made things and life very easy. You have communication, shopping. We can do shopping at home, banking at our fingertips. No need of walking out. I haven't gone out at all for most of these works, and maybe all of you too. It has brought knowledge through the making of information and data right available right in front of you. So actually earlier information and digital technologies were looked at as promoters, enablers, levelers, protectors. But today, benefits of digital technology is manifold. Access to information, new economic opportunities, empowerment of civil societies, etc. Machines and human are intertwined in a healthy relationship. I think we have to learn to live this way, right? And let's look at this. So this is very simple. Converting information into a physical format that is analog to digital is digital technology. Now, digitalization is a business model to digital operations. Converting a business model to digital operation is digitalization. I like to keep this as separate, though sometimes you can use it as a interchangeable, but digitalization is that the ability to turn existing products and services to a digital variant, right? What it does is increases process efficiencies and improves data transparency. Of course, it should help to boost the top management as well as the functionaries elsewhere. Now, making changes at all levels of business, what digitalization will do, it changes at the process level, adopting new digital tools, streaming manual steps, etc. At the organization level, you have digitalization, offering new services, discarding obsolete and all. That's where the change should take place. And business domain levels, change roles and value chains in ecosystem, even the societal levels. This is where the real issue lies. Are we ready? Digital readiness or digitalization readiness, adaptivity. Can we adopt? Are we ready to adopt all these things? These are the things one has to really look into it, right? And in a transformation, now there's another word, the business and its strategies. After digitalizing, automatically the digitized things get adopted in such a way that tomorrow's business is totally transformed. That's the transformation which we are talking about. Now, if you look at digitization, basically, you'll see that artificial intelligence, blockchains, augmented reality, and virtual reality. I think most of you in your college and universities will know about it. These are all tools, techniques to be used properly, right? Like virtual reality, voice assistant of Amazon and Alexa, artificial learning, motion integration also, the way they you to do things, right? And progressive web applications, user behavior tracking, the way you get messages on your phone. basically looking at what you have tracked on the Internet of Things, uh, all these things, blockchains, cryptocurrency, one of the biggest thing that has come into the digitization aspect. Web views, autonomous cars, as I said, 5G, which is a little delayed but will come soon. Now, with all these things in place, you still have the gaps, and that's where I want to emphasize which, where, and how. And I want the seminar, I request the seminar to just look into this. I hope you have papers on it. The gap to the digital frontier remains large across many industries. Now, what is driving this gap? It is revenue generation, it is automation and supply chains not existing. It is digital workforce. You see, you need things to be in place wherever you are going to introduce digitalization. Now look at pharmaceuticals. The gap is driven by revenue generation. It's driven by automation and supply chain, digital workforce. Now you should have rules, regulations, laws that exist in such a way that it is inducive for this particular thing. Otherwise, you cannot. Look at the relationship with the government, the laws, rules, regulation, culture, people. That's where the issue of it not achieving will start. Look at media. They have to still have a good digital workforce. Otherwise, they will not be fully able to transform. They are all in this process only. Consumer good packaging. Now the travel again, is there enough? There is revenue generation, no doubt, but there's nothing like a supply chain management and digital workforce. So these are the gap generators. Now this is where we have to really work on. Now there exists many who have overcome all this, like the force, the big force of Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and the big three of what you call China's big three, Alibaba, Windows. These have really worked and cut short the gap, and they are becoming successful. So we have to learn from their success stories, the Google and the thing. Can we adopt it into the industrial and other sectors, especially the rural development sector? Is the question that I would like to pose here. Now, most advanced in digitization are media, finance, and retail, because there is a set of things which you can do, and it's more realistic. You're not much on the behavioral aspect. You're trying to give the way news is brought to you today is totally on a digital platform. uh, okay, pharmaceuticals and manufacturing are lagging behind, but that is the industry which really has to be pulled up. But there is work in progress, but still. Now, see, there are certain kind of superstars who are done well. If you look at the world examples of media and telecom, they have really done a 95% because of the revenue earning. Financial industry, they don't come and meet you nowadays. It's all on the digital platform they do. Similarly on professional services, etc. Right. And these are some of the aspects that has to do. Now, what about if you don't have digitalization? How about mergers and acquisition? Can you merge? Can you acquire an unit which is already working and get into this thing? That is another area which the seminar could look into in terms of really working out a quick shortcut solution to get into it. Because that without digitalizing and digitizing, you can't transform yourself into a very successful business. But you see, there's a failure tends to be higher in digital transformation. Customer experience is the most common type of transformation. If you want to satisfy your customer, you have to be good with brand names, etc. Probably acquiring and merging should not lead to any kind of a negative connotation. Um, well, the key theme of improving the success of digital transformation would be mobilizing the people, the culture, the entire industry, managing talent. As just now you heard about the human resource management, you will have them, but you have to turn them into workers for your purpose into the digital arena. They have been trained for something else, right? The traditional things won't do. And so also I'll tell you about the employment and unemployment. There is going to be an unemployment frictional unemployment, which is going to be initially a little high, and then you will have it covered up later on as the technology progresses. Hasn't it been the case with computers when it came in into the government sectors, etc.? There was resentment, but now things are different. Now, AI, as you said, our principal, his background, when he was talking, I could catch that he is an expert in AI, and that is what should drive the digital technology. Manually, we cannot do much. It is AI aided things that should bring in the thing. The next sector I would like to talk about is knowledge intensive sectors, highly digitized, should be highly digitized. Capital intensive, potential to further digitize their assets. Service sectors, having more room to digitize customer transactions. B2B, potential to digitize and engage. Labor intensive. These are findings from World Bank, McKinsey, Mazar, and others. Large localized low productivity could transform for productivity and delivery of services by using digitalization. There are pockets in this country and the world where things really exist, but we are not able to master them. Now, the extent of digitalization is varying. If you look at industries, you see the green ones are highly relatively highly digitized, and the red ones are low digitization. I'll just enlarge it. You look at this now. The sectors which is having problems, knowledge and intensive sectors, well, most of it has been capital intensive sectors. Yeah, two. These portions, still a lot of work is to be done, like oil and gas, utilities, chemicals. These tabulations have been done under various World Bank reports and other reports from McKinsey, Mazar, and some meetings also. I found out some of these graphs and they gave this to me. So this is where the real laggardness is there. Government, health, hospitality, construction, agriculture, and hunting. You have very little things, and transformation in the sixth sector will take a long time, and this is to be speeded up. Presently, in today's kind of a pandemic kind of a condition, these are the ones which should have been given the most importance. The industries, they are running because they have the revenue, right? So this cross table would guide a lot on how we should go about in digitizing and digitalizing. Now, how does digitalization change competitiveness of individual economies? That's very interesting to see. What happens is, if you look at industries, Western industries and economies, Asian emerging economies, and African developing countries, we would be in the emerging economies. We are on, I'll show you when we talk about India, we are on. Western, they have been doing it, they have to speed up. We have a lot of opportunity. African, they don't have to go from step 1, step 2, step 3. What they could do is what economists would call leapfrogging. That is, from a no telecom sector to sudden mobile sector with internet. You have left aside all the steps of other digitization processes. These are very great opportunity areas where they should really digitalize faster than, and could even overtake the emerging economies, etc., and come up. So see, that's the thing. This is the kind of this thing, like African and other things could quickly come up, but of course they'll be slower than the Western industries. These, if they don't keep in track, they will be overtaken by the other two types, Asian emerging economies and the African developing countries. If really they could be given a good boost through the world organizations, etc., because productivity now lies in those areas. If you look at the age compositions and other things, Um, now, how to digitize these digitalization challenges? How to benefit from this in practice? Like, we should ask questions like, what is going on with the digitalization in the company at present? What is the main problem of improving targets? How those are trying to be solved? Have you stagnated? Are you in a fix? If these are the things you have to look at, and if you want to analyze this, there is a paradigm which has been given, and many papers and other things have given us information on this, right? That is, you can have a disruptive change, internal efficiency, or an external opportunity. There's an impact viewpoint of digitalization, digital transformation. right? So let's have a look at this. Now, if you are going through an internal efficiency kind of a thing, then the questions would remain is, what is the state of technology used to handle the issue? Is it available? Bottlenecks existing in the current practices, can you change the current practices and modify? May not be, we do not know. And such issues. So now if you look at external opportunities, what what are the potentials of new customer segments who could be tapped if you digitalize, right? And what are the risk involved? Risk is an important aspect. And what is the impact on the company's current offering and businesses? Will you have to cannibalize the entire process of what is going on now and shift totally? What is the window of opportunity that is there? These are the external opportunities questions you could have. Disruptive changes, sudden changes. Now, which current company offerings are impacted? Now, if you suddenly digitalize and come up with all revenue, you have put a lot into digitalization, then what happens to the sector? Will it sustain? Which processes are involved with the change? Competence, what is the type of manpower required? What is the time frame of the change? If it takes too long, competition will just wash you out, right? So these are some of the combined values of, if you digitalize and don't digitalize. If you digitalize, you could save a lot of transportation and thereby the CO2 emissions. These are some studies that has come. And what is the impact on jobs? There will be a negative impact. I'll show you about the negative impacts. Now, in the initial term, jobs created as a percentage of total created jobs will be in the negative sector. This is called the frictional employment from the economic point of view. Then we come up. After that, again, we may not require the same type and the same quantum of manpower. That is going to decrease. Now, if you look at services and these things, in which services, which areas, I'm sure there will be presentation on this type, and one could really come out with information and suggestions on how to do this, right? Now, these are some of the things. Now, let's talk about transformation. The benefits of transformation is increased revenue, decrease operating cost, and increase customer satisfaction. This is all well said. But again, there are problems of achieving this. As I mentioned earlier, it is not it's not a cakewalk at all. It is something which you have to be committed and choose very carefully. And what is the matrix that you will develop to choose the right industry at the right time to digitalize and change? That is the question that is posed. And many seminars which I have attended have really praised these things, but have talked about the implementation issues. Now, what about India? India, have you seen the digital world of India? The 9 pillars of digital India. They've got a site now, and they're talking about all these aspects. So, and they are funding this, and we are really progressing quite well onto it. But you have to really wait and watch how quickly will they digitalize, how quickly industries will transform. Those ones which are from abroad and have units here, they are doing it. But what about Indian, the rural area, which I was talking about as a concern? Unless these things are in place, it's not going to work out. Then there is not the simple issue of technology. There is the issue of, you see, the other aspect. There's the issue of legality, privacy, and many such things, which is not easy to tackle in the cultural and environmental aspect we are in. So will we be able to progress at the same rate that is expected of us? Maybe the pandemic has given us a lesson, but will we take over this lesson and internalize it is the question which I would like to raise. Right. Now, density of ICT products, they have suddenly shot up, and definitely the governments are like internet, mobile, landlines, all were on a very low key, and you see them up to 17, 18, even 19 figures. When I talk to the ministry, they say is quite high in utilization. Now, the Indian Adoption Index, which is a World Bank study, 14 and 16, we are rising in the adoption index. We are rising on the business sub-index. We are trying to from 0.4 to 0.5. It's marginal, small increases within 2 years. And the again, the government sub-index, right? People index. Are people ready? Is the government ready? Now, government shows the highest willingness to go in, and that's the best indication to the country and others that we are willing to digitize, and there's a great opportunity here. So this is again another thing about overall performance of countries, out of which we are number 44, and the factors which are really driving us. We've got a good knowledge background population here. We've got technologies. We are adopting technology very well, and we are trying to be future ready. Many, but not in as you go down, as I said, into the rural and far-flung areas. This quotient is going down. So also talents and regulatory framework. The law should change. It's all ancient laws. You see, you need to revamp the legal system. And I mean, our finance minister had talked about a lot of new things that could come in, decriminalization of certain aspects, etc., in business and industry, adaptive attitude. Then the sub factors like training and education. You can't teach the old textbooks again if you want to really digitize, and the country should turn into a completely transform into a digital economy. Then the capital investment should be forthcoming. We are short of that, and an agile business, an agile agility is the most important thing. Willingness to change and adopt, that should be there. And another thing is scientific concentration. We are a little low. The triangle shows a little lesser aspect on this, but technology framework and IT integration are all high. So this is the kind of things. Now look at another supporting evidence in India. You'll find India is 32nd, I mean 32% or so in countries digitally adoption index. We are having only as 32 as a number. But if you look at growth in country digital adoption index, we are way above Singapore, Australia. We are really gulping down the idea. And this is, my dear participants, this is the indication on which we should cling to. India is going to transform itself, and this is an indicator. And I have such many more aspects of digital applications across uses, various uses, etc., and other things. Now, but sectors, this also another important. Public sector enabled driving the change. Post, government, limited route pay, motor vehicles. These are the ones which are. And in private sector, again, Amazon, Flipkart, they're not basically companies ours. We need to have ours. Ole India, Uber, okay, well. Naukri.com and LinkedIn in the HR, this thing. Walmart, Big Basket again, Paytm. These are the ones that are really driving the digital scenario. I'd like to end with this presentation and flagging these issues, which sector to be given importance, which areas to be emphasized, which industries to be picked up, and what alternative ways are there to go in for massive digitization and digital transformation. Because we have learned with this small little virus, there may be conditions in which you need to really do much more. And moreover, working from home, telecommuting, this has been there, but we did not take it seriously. Now we could save a lot on that and invest those funds into the digitization concepts. I once again thank you, all the organizers, for this wonderful opportunity you have given me for expressing my views on it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you stop sharing, sir?
Yeah. One second. I'll just stop sharing.
Thank you so much, sir. Your riches of research and your depth of knowledge and understanding produced wonderful insight in this conference.
Right.
Thank you, sir, for your stimulating speech.
Right. I'll just unshare these things.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have taken out the share. Is it okay?
No, still we are in the screen, sir. You need to stop sharing, sir.
Stop sharing. Okay, 1 minute. Pause share. Yeah, I've done pause. Stop sharing. Is it okay?
No, sir.
1 minute. 1 minute. There. Is
Yes,
it
sir.
okay? Right.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Now I request the organizing committee of this international conference to release the proceedings. Yeah. So I think there's a little technical problem. So at the utmost, I congratulate all the organizing team for organizing this prestigious international conference, and I hope the outcome of the deliberations of the conference will enrich our knowledge. Now, with this, I request Ms. Sharada to go present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good morning to one and all. I, Sharada, here with you all to present the vote of thanks. On behalf of St. Martin's Engineering College and the Department of MBA, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Chairman, Sri Madhi Lakshma Reddy Garu and Sri G. Chandrasekhar Yadav Garu for giving us continuous support to organize the events. And I would like to thanks to Dr. Santosh Kumar Patra sir, Principal of SMEC, who is always motivating with his dynamic thoughts. I sincerely thankful to our chief guest, Dr. V. Ramadevi Garu, for her presence and sharing the experiences with us. And I thank our guest of honor, Dr. Rajendra Herman Garu, to enlightening us with his valuable words. I'm very much thankful to Dean Academics, Dr. Amarendra Babu sir, and all other department HODs for their timely cooperation and support. I would like to thank Dr. Y. Venkatrangaya sir, HOD MBA, who initiated this conference. And I sincerely thank Professor P. Dolly Diana Madam, who always guides us on right path. And I also thank my department staff and technical team who supporting continuously to make the event successful. Thanks to all the people who are directly and indirectly helping us to make the event successful. Once again, I sincerely thanks to all. Thank you. And I request all the participants to join their allotted links for the presentation. And all the best for the participants. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I request organizing committee to release the proceedings. Yeah, it's a great achievement. Congratulations, all the organizing committee. Thank you so much. So now we'll start the sessions. The finance session will be carried on in the Zoom link, and HR and marketing will be given in the GoToMeeting. So all the coordinators, please take care of the sessions. So with this, we'll close the inaugural session. Thank you one and all, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So I request all the finance participants to stay back with the same link. We'll start the session in couple of minutes. I request all the delegates to stay back with the same link. Finance people, stay back with the same link. HR and marketing people can join with the respective links which have been posted in a WhatsApp group.